Do you spend time playing with ideas every day? No, I'm serious. How often we have during the day all these thoughts, one after the others, we have ideas and so on. But do you actually take time to take some of your ideas and play with them? That was my question today because I was looking at a topic for this video and then I was thinking about books that I read and I decided to see, okay, Momentum is an excellent book from Evan Carmichael. Say, hey, let's see if I can make series of videos about how I enjoyed his book. Now, Evan is a person I follow for a long time. I consider him a good friend, and I know that he has been upfront with me, saying, "Okay, there are a few things you need to change. You need to follow ideas you have, but you need to follow through." So, as I read the book, and you'll notice that when I read the book, I write in it all the time. Some of my friends don't like the idea that I write in books, but you know what? When you read something and you have an idea, by writing them in the book allows me to put my insight on what was happening in the reading. And when I reread a book, it reminded me, oh yes, I remember why I was thinking that. And it also shows me how I grow every time I reread a book. So the amazing thing, so this book is divided in 4 sections. The first one is about the mindset shifts. There's 7 of them. The other one is about actions, 7 actions to take for momentum. The other one is 7 habits, and the other ones are 7 advanced momentum strategies. Amazingly, Evan Carmichael has an amazing movement maker community that, if you're interested, you may want to look into, especially if you buy his book. So, if you look at the questions or the topic, so I'm looking at the first two mindset shift today. The first one goes like this: believe that great ideas flow through you. And it is important because we have ideas every day. Some of you may say, well, most of my friends or my colleagues or people around me always downplay my ideas. Or they will say, well, my community supports my idea and I feel energized by that. And that's something that is interesting because I think our worst enemy is ourselves. Too often we have an idea and then ourselves we say, oh, you know what? Maybe that's not the best idea. We have our internal voice from our brain and mind, from our heart, that sometimes undermine our own ideas. So the point here is to have to realize that our ideas are great. They are nice. Now, some of them may not be the most popular. Some of them may not be the most efficient, but sometimes playing with ideas lead to other ideas that can create amazing situations. So as I was reading his chapter talking about that great ideas flow through us, I was reminded of a statement that Gary Vee said in one of his clip, and it went like this. Because Gary Vee believes that great things come to him. So, when we think of Gary Vee, he's someone who's quite active in social media, and we always seem to feel that he is successful in everything he does. And the reason is that he feels that great things happen to him. Great things go and comes to him. The same way we need to believe that great ideas come to us. Because once we realize that, then we will be open to the opportunity of considering ideas and even find ones that will make you move forward, evolve, and then try new things, get out of your comfort zone, and guess what? Possibly start a new business, start a new course, start a new relationships, and that is priceless. Other ideas that I came through when I was reading this chapter was the fact that Tony Robbins often has he was talking at some point about how he gets his ideas because he's a billionaire. He's got tons of companies. And his key question is, how can I help? And if you listen to Tony Robbins, often he has many companies based out of an idea he had, a place where he noticed there was a need. And just by thinking, how can I help? People say, well, this is what we need. then he will take those ideas and create a business or find someone to associate with to grow a bigger business. And this is quite interesting because too often we say, well, we need to start our own business, we're entrepreneur, but often we can find a partnership. Sometimes we can get involved with different companies. We can be an investor in a company. And this is quite interesting because instead of working for money, you are looking at opportunities to help others, work with ideas, and then possibly grow as a person and be a bigger contributor. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're looking for. We're looking at ways to be better contributors in our lives, but for our world. And that's quite amazing. So here, let's see what we have. This one here. Oh, yes. So if you think that great ideas flow through ourselves, then it's something that we need to believe. And one way to do this is through affirmation. And here I have a note that if you want to consider and grow your ideas, what you can do is you can reconnect with your true self. And here I have my notes here. It goes like this. You need to re-engineer yourself through affirmation. I mentioned earlier that often our self-thinking often is our worst enemy. We have an idea, then we get busy. The rat race is there every day. There was a phone call, someone, or we felt like a victim. No. If you think of a great idea, let's see what you can do with that. Let's see if you can play with the idea. Some people say, well, how do we know the ideas we have and how can we reflect on them to see if they work well? Well, first, as I mentioned, an affirmation saying that acknowledging that great ideas exist, re-engineering our minds saying that we can consider those ideas as feasible. They may not all come to an outcome, but at least it's something that will lead the way to other ideas. So here we go. Great ideas flow through us. We need affirmation to figure out, okay, ideas are good. They are relevant. Let's see if I can play with them. And guess what? Every time we have a good idea, remember how you feel with ideas. Often we have an idea and we perk up. We have a gain of energy. We can think of all the possibilities that can arise from achieving this idea. Sometimes we have an idea that leads to 3 others, and then we get all active. Our brain goes fast, and that's why sometimes when we go to bed and we lie down and then we have an idea, it leads to another. And I'm sure that you've gone through the fact that you go to bed, you haven't slept, you're not sleeping yet, it's been an hour, and then your mind is racing with all the new ideas that you have. So one way to keep them in mind is actually journaling. If you have by your bed or on you a small journal to outline or write down ideas you have, you'll be able to remember them the day after. But if you do that every day, you might be able to realize that there's a pattern. You might realize situations or ideas that you like more than others. And if you see that an idea comes back over and over again, maybe it's worth investigating them so that you say, okay, let's see if I can pursue the idea and see how far it goes. Doesn't mean that you'll end up with the best idea of the world, the best company idea of the world. But then every time you take an idea, you take action on it and you see how far it goes, you grow, you learn. And guess what? The next time you have an idea, it can go further. It's interesting. I don't know where I heard that. I was listening to someone about building a company and finding an idea of a company. And I know he was a man, and he was saying that if you're looking for an idea for business, you need to solve problems. That was his idea. And he says, if you want to know what kind of problems you can focus on, he says, well, take a journal. And he said, every day, I want you to write 5 problems that you see or encounter during your day. You don't have to do anything about it, but just the idea of, oh, this is a problem, I'd love a solution. Or you go to a set of light, you see something that could be improved, you see there's a problem there. Let's see, You want to get in the building, the door gets stuck, there's a problem to improve that one. Timing for the subway, a productivity idea so that you can mainstream a process. And he was saying that if you do write down every day 5 problems you notice for 30 days, and he says that you end up with about 150 ideas. And his ideas is that you step back, you read all your ideas, you notice that many of them are repeated. He says, pick one that works, find a solution, bring value to others. And it's that easy to build a company based on an idea. Because a business is what? It's finding a solution to someone's problem. And then you're helping them, either saving money, saving time, or creating share value for shareholders and people involved. Often it's that easy. I know it's not that easy because I could have done that in the past, but hey, I think it's an idea that is worth looking into. And here, to finish this first topic here, it goes like this. For an affirmation, I have this one written for me. It says, I have the ability to respond and to respond. Let's see, I have the ability to respond to my ideas. And I have the responsibility to give myself the courage and permission to play with ideas. Because it takes courage to look at ideas, because an idea goes against sometimes the flow of what's happening around us. We have to give ourselves permission to play with ideas, because often we feel that other people's ideas are better and not as much ours. And I think this is something to consider. Let's see. Very good. Let's see if I can go for the second mindset shift for the momentum group here. And the second one goes like this. The ideas that come to you when you're feeling bold are the right ones for you. Oh, it's in line with the first one we just discussed about the fact that great ideas go through us. And here, my notes on this one is that you have to keep in mind that when you have ideas, sometimes you have to be bold, because people sometimes are afraid and they're waiting for someone to take a stand to make a difference. The other one it says here, your ideas will be at the level of your mindset. Oh, that's a good one. It may be from the text. This is just the notes I wrote myself here. So the idea is, if you have a mindset that is playing small, you're going to have small ideas and you won't feel that there's much you can do. If you feel that you feel bold, you feel energized, your ideas will be bold and energized. If you feel excited about what's going on in your life, your ideas will be exciting. If you feel down and feel that you're victim today, you notice that you may not have an idea or just ideas to confirm the victim states, which is not a great place to be. So here, today's video is about ideas. You need to know that great ideas flow through you. And second, you need to realize that your energy level, the energy that you bring forward, will be the energy that your ideas will have. So may as well be bold, may as well be strong and energized, so that we can have bold ideas and be energized with what we do. And guess what? That will help us increase our energy level. That will help us being more inspired for even more ideas. So hopefully you enjoyed this idea of momentum, this idea of me sharing with you some insight with Evan's Momentum book. It is an amazing read. I think you need to see what you can do to get your own copy. On this, I want you to write down in your journal, actually in the comments below, I want you to write down, let's see, one great idea that you have that you think could help our world. Could be a small idea, could be a big idea. And let's see if with each other's idea, we can come up with a better world for tomorrow. So on this, I'm going to share with you a link to a video of a milestone journey, and you'll see we're ready for great ideas for a better future.